Okay, what's up? How you all are doing? Happy Friday. Happy last day of May. All of the things. When I say this has been truly a busy road runner month for me, I have been running more than usual the entire month. Um, okay, bam. It's on there. Okay, bam. See, that's what I was. Oh, okay. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Yep. See, get rid of that. All right. So, one of the things that I've been talking about this month, we've been talking about a lot of small business topics. A lot of us are starting small businesses, and as we know, it's not easy. I saw a post I think Kamari shared yesterday or today that was like, if you can't work 40 hours and you don't want to work 40 hours, go ahead and go work 150 for yourself, because that's the reality that it is, especially when you're starting a small business, because you're doing everything. And it's very important to leverage your finances and be able to understand how to build business credit the correct way. So first topic we talked about taxes. We talked about preparing your finances, tax preparation, like how that's a 365 day activity. It's not a, oh my God, it's December, it's tax time next month, let me start getting ready. So we shared tips and tricks and those about those. If this is your first time here at my channel, go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button and go watch those videos as well. So we talked about the finances, taxes, setting up your business finances. Then I came on and we talked about branding, setting up your website, representing your brand on social media. So we've covered a lot that is truly helpful. And I'm bringing some of my friends who actually do these things. So these are not people who they sell you business credit or they sell you how to. These are people who are actually doing these things. So I like to bring real life answers because we have real life money problems. So most of the people that I'm bringing that I brought this month, they typically, this is not what they do. This is not a service they provide. They're coming to share their knowledge and wealth with you. So today I brought one of my people. He's actually we've done lives together before. We actually have a new YouTube video that's going to be dropping soon. It'll probably drop next week. But I'll let him come up and introduce himself. He has a podcast of his own. It's called About That Wallet Podcast. So make sure you go over there and check it out. He has some dope guests on there. He does a lot of live shows. His live shows be lit. And he also it's a podcast. So he has regular guests coming in, sharing wealth and gems. So I'm going to bring him up and we're going to go ahead and get started and get into this. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you so much for having me on your show, Nia. As always, it is a pleasure being here. So for those of you who are new to me, my name is Anthony Weaver. I am the host of the About That Wallet podcast, where we help you build strong financial habits and so that you can have the ability to have that confidence in your finances. And even when you go out to those cookouts, summer's around here. So you want to be confident when you talk about your dollars and cents. So this is what we're all about. And I'm here to actually help you guys with your small business to continue and maintain that business, because we all know that there's some struggles. So Nia, how far you want to go into this?
So let me bring myself back up here. Oh, sorry.
I wasn't sure if you wanted me to just run straight through. I mean,
no.
Okay.
We're gonna start from we're gonna start from scratch, because you have a lot of people on social media giving out information, and a lot of times they're telling you like, oh, do this, here, this how you build your business credit without your personal credit and all that, things like that, and the different tiers. So we're going to start from the beginning. So say I started my business has been in operation, and I've decided like, wow, okay, maybe let's just say we got an Airbnb business. That's going to be the example for today. So we got an Airbnb business, but it really would be great if I had business credit to buy a lot of my sheets and different materials for my Airbnb. And then when I can get and I start actually renting it out, that money can help pay the credit card back. So what should I be doing? Like I just started this, so I don't know anything about business credit. So what should I do? Like, how do I get started to even set my business up?
Okay, so the first thing, there's several things that go into place before you even, I mean, if you starting your business from scratch, you don't have any paperwork or anything.
So right here we got Sappy City reusable water.
There needs to be some type of you need the articles of operation to figure out how your business is going to operate. You need to double check with your local state to see if you need to register it. The state of Maryland, if you start a business, they're going to tax the business. So they also want their cut, whether you're making money or not. It's $300 every year. Ask me how I know.
Wait. So these LLCs, they going us to go start. We got to pay fees for all of them.
You got to pay fees in Maryland. I know from Maryland you do.
If in other places too, but a lot of times that's the part that you don't get. You got to send reports every year. You have to pay to renew it every year. It doesn't just stay active forever. So it sounds like you got to make sure your stuff is kind of together first. That's one of your first steps.
Yes. So the first steps is this is part of doing your homework and having us here and using us as mentors if you want. If you want to say free mentors, go for it. So, you have to double check with your state to see if you have to actually pay any annual fees and stuff like that. Once you have that in place, now you need to figure out, do you want your business to actually stay at your house? You can actually be the registered agent if you want to, which is just a person there to sign off the documents in case they got to send in the legal documents. You're the person there to sign off on it. Most of the time, you can find a lot of outsourced softwares that are out there or applications that are out there. Just as an example, I'm not vouching for them, but as an example, like LegalZoom, if you want to look for a registered agent, they can do other things as well, but this is one of the tools or programs that they have available. Now that you got the registered agent, you got to go get your EIN, which is free. Go to irs.gov, make sure you get that. It only take really like 15 minutes. Just go to irs.gov, search EIN, and then you just sign up for that. That can take less than a little bit. All of these things that I'm talking about, you can do this within like the matter of 2 hours. Then if you want all the mail coming to your house, that's fine. If you do the registered agent, that's fine. They will actually, depending on the services that you need. So now that we're talking about the Airbnb service.
So you said if you need a resident agent, what's the resident agent?
The resident agent is the person that's there to sign off on the documents to say they receive it.
Correct. And then essentially, like, depending on what type of business you are in, if anything happens where you have some type of court case or anybody needs to get in contact with your business for legal purposes, your resident agent is going to filter all of those things and it will all go through them, as opposed to maybe if you have a brick and mortar location and now the sheriff is showing up to serve you in your business in front of your customers. When you have a resident agent, the resident agent will receive all of that and you won't receive it. It's basically a representative who's representing your company and you're paying them a fee typically to do that. So that's another fee that you might have if you don't have somebody else willing to stand in. Or I've even seen sometimes they have they self. I think you should consider based on what type of business you have.
Right. And if you want to stay anonymous, I do recommend trying another service. Or if you have a cousin or somebody else that's out there that don't mind, I mean, you just throw a name out there really and an address and all the mail and everything like that, go to them. So these are the things that they don't tell you about until you're actually in the mix. So a lot of these people just say, oh yeah, just start a business, get LLC, get all these people in your name. No, it's a lot of paperwork on the back end. And that you need to make sure that you're compliant. Now, this helps. The reason why you want to do this because this helps to build up credibility. And so building that credibility, you can start off with your personal account, your personal credit. The reason why this is important to have your personal credit good is so that you can start off getting those cards. It's okay to leverage your personal credit to start your business credit. A lot of people do that. And some people, these gurus out there that try to, or quote unquote, shall we say, try to say, just go on and get business credit and blah, blah, blah. But It depends on your business because every business require different things. As a podcaster, they only going to give me about 50K for credit card. That's it, because we really don't need much. Just buying like lights and maybe go to a conference from time to time, and get these services. But at the end of the day, like this business doesn't require that much, as you could say, capital to run. So when you look at the different businesses, especially with real estate, they can also cap you off there as well. But also, you got so many things, factors that come into play because right now we in the place where the stock market, not the stock market, just people aren't spending as much, and the banks are holding too many items, and not too many people are paying their bills. So the loans are getting smaller and smaller. These are the things you need to pay attention to as well in your industry before you just going out there and do it. Now,
Can I add something?
go for it.
So one thing you really want to make sure you have is revenue. Everybody's saying go sign up for business credit, sign up for business credit. But guess what happens after you sign up for business credit? Now you're starting to get a bill in the mail that will need to be paid. And even though it is business credit and they tell you, oh, well, it's going, it's for your business. If you default, it will go on your personal credit.
Right.
Because you need your personal credit. So you want to make sure you have a business that's actually bringing in money, because how else are you going to pay them their money back?
Correct.
Yes, you got to pay to play.
Now, this brings up the question for a lot of people would say, or even question, is do you have a product and actually show proof of concept first before you start the business, or do you start the business first before you show proof of concept? Now, there are people who do a lot of venture capitalists. What they say is go ahead on and create your friends and everything like that. Talk to them, create the product, go inside in front of a venture capitalist. It'll take about 3 months, spend a little bit of dollars and say, hey, if we like this, they go for it. Then they'll start the business from that. If that doesn't work, then they'll go ahead on and scrap it, start again. Because think about it, you want to show proof of concept. You want to show that this item or this business is actually something that people want to use right now. You can have the most amazing product, but if nobody's there to purchase it or even want it or even need it at this time of day, then it's kind of useless. It's just sitting there collecting dust until the time that it's needed. Because I have turntables. They're sitting over here, and I'm like, I don't listen to records anymore. Everything is digital. So, these are the things that you want to look into and to see if it's actually valuable for the people. That's what I gotta say on that one, Neil. What's going on, people? I gotta say hi to my peoples. Thank you guys for coming through. What's going on? You on mute.
I would say proof of concept first. I mean, to me, I think that's important, because if I start my business today and then I'm running to go get business credit tomorrow, I haven't even figured out that I have a viable business that's even going to make any money.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I can have great ideas, but especially if I don't have any type of plan, I haven't done any research, I'm just jumping out the window. It's to me, it's giving no. It's giving not advised. Do not recommend, 0 stars.
So that's one of the things that I know Kamari put on there. Friend of both of ours, of course, for those who are listening and new. One of the things that Kamari did say is having a business as a podcast is not the way to go. And as I've been doing this for a while, and I was thinking about it, I was like, maybe I should have held off on creating a business for the podcast. Like, I could still have done everything else, which is like still buy all this stuff out of pocket. So I kept my W-2. I don't have to worry about additional taxes and so forth and stuff like that. I don't have to worry about paying the state of Maryland just because I wanted to create a business. All this money without even making money, because podcasters, we really don't make money until we sell a product. You guys actually purchase a product because we get affiliate links. This is just true behind the scenes, the way how it works. Or any of the links that I have in my show notes, if you guys buy anything, I do get a cut of that. Or buy the books that I created, the journals. Like, this is the way how we have to make revenue, unless we get sponsored right off the back. And then some of you guys don't want to see the commercials, but then you also don't want to pay, but this stuff costs. So like even the platform we're using right now to stream to you guys, these
It
things
costs.
cost.
Yeah, it's not cheap. I mean, it's not free.
Right. It's not free at all.
Mm-mm.
So for us to do all these things and continue to provide value to you, I'm gonna do my best the way I can with the limitations that I have. And that's the whole purpose of it all. So when it comes to talking about building that revenue, that is very important to know what your expenses are, but a lot of things creep up on you. So when we talking about getting like financially healthy with your business, is really knowing the ins and outs of your business. And sometimes you won't know the extra 20 or 30% that could actually hurt you. You just excited, green thumbed, and just like ready to run at it because you hear all this cool stuff that they tell you on the social media platforms. But again, don't take it from just a random people on the internet. Please make sure y'all do y'all research. And I want to
One
say
thing that I think that a lot of times they don't tell you either when it comes to business credit, you still need to have good personal credit.
Yeah.
If you think that Amex and Chase and they're going to just give you money and your personal credit is bad, yes, you will get business credit. It'll be in your business name. You'll submit your business documentation, but they will ask you to PG, which basically means personal guarantee. This means that they're going to use your personal credit to see how you was acting in these credit streets before you had a business, before they determine if they're going to give you some money too and allow your business, because it's a great, having credit is absolutely wonderful. You can leverage it, but it's going to take strategy. Leveraging it so you can build your brand is a wonderful thing, but you don't want to basically go down a sinkhole when you were really trying to excel.
So perfect example, or for those of you who are new to owning a business or looking to start a business, one of the platforms has been really helpful to me is nav.com, which is nav.com is really good to kind of track your credit score to utilizing, I think it's one of Experian for the Experian business, and that's where they're getting most of their information from. And you can also use, what is the other one? Nav.com, and then it's another one that where everybody get their business from. I can't think of it.
What do they get from it?
Like their business credit. You can check a business credibility from that.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking
I don't
about?
know. I use Nav.
Okay, yeah, Nav is great. And even if you don't,
it gives you Experian, Equifax. It gives you it depends on which version you have. If you have the free version, you don't get as much detail. If you have the paid version, you'll be able to see what your actual score is.
Right. And so having those tools out there available to you is very key and very important, because you can look up any business inside Nav as well to see how their business health is going, which means that you can also see how many employees that they say that they have, as well as what their credit as a business is and stuff like that. So most of it, and like even when I have penalties on my personal credit, Nav be like, hey, something hit your credit, just let you know. And I was like, God dang it.
They will. They will. They will send you something and let you know. And it's kind of like Credit Karma. Like they send you a notification, let you know, oh, your score went down because of this happened, and it'll show you what happened. And when you first start building business credit, it might take you a while. So there's different routes. So if you have good personal credit, you can probably go straight to Amex or, one of the highly acclaimed business cards and start your business credit. But a lot of people, they go through tier 1 and tier 2 with the quills and the
oh yeah,
for your
90s. Quill, I mean,
you know what I'm talking about, like the Rangers and the quills and the Home
Mm.
Depot Institutional. Like for a real estate investor, it's beneficial. So like I have a Lowe's business credit line and a Home Depot business credit line. So when I order things, I can order them, and typically they'll be net 30, which means that in 30 days you have to pay the full balance. and that will start reporting to the credit bureaus and help build your credit. The thing is, you have to pay it in that 30 days, the full balance, not a partial payment, not a minimum payment. You have to pay the full balance. So you don't want to go crazy biting off more than you can chew, because then that's going to hit your business credit, and it's going to sink your score, and before you even got a score. When that method, that's the slow roll method.
That is a slow roll. But like I said, Nav does it too.
Wow, for that first score to hit.
Yeah, Nav does really good as well. So Nav, if you sign up for their program, they actually allow you to do it's like a net 90. So you just pay them every 90 days or every quarter, and then they will report that to the credit bureau. So even if you don't open up any other lines of credit, you can just start off with nav.com and set that up. And then I think it's only like $130 or something like that. So it's not that much. But again, you need that revenue to come in to kind of make it look like, okay, you got some dollars coming in.
Because if you don't, where you think the money got to come from?
Yeah, your own paycheck.
It's going to come from your pocket, and right. Your money paying your bills right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and that's why I go back and forth with these stories that say, "Oh, I started my business with $5,000." Okay, what business were you starting? What was the first sale? What were you doing during that time frame?
They do have some businesses that have low barriers to entry and low, startup capital that's needed. So they do have them.
Right, but are you willing? But not everybody's willing to make those sacrifices for that.
Oh, yeah.
And each business, and I think a lot of people overskip this or don't talk about this enough, which is the sacrifices that's necessary for each business. When it comes to real estate, you need tough skin, because things aren't going to happen as fast as you think they are.
Tough skin to leave your emotions at home.
Yes.
They don't belong here.
And the realtors, when they're trying to sell you these properties, they got bills to pay too. So if they sitting around showing you 20 and 30 houses, you ain't select anything yet. They might look at you, be like, "You sure you want to look at this property? You sure you want to come out today? It's raining today," but early on, they out there, rain, snow, sleet. It can be 100 degrees outside. Shorts, hey, you want to see this property? But
yeah, and sometimes they're more invested in what their goal is or their quota that they've set for themselves, not necessarily what your investing goal is.
Right. So it depends on your business. All of this credit stuff and everything like that, it still all depends, but I guess you could say at the base level of what you need to kind of get this going is get your personal credit right. And one of the things, for those of you who are following right now, I believe y'all are on my newsletter. I did put out to kind of get your credit in order, which means to kind of get rid of those derogatory things, which is using like simple credit to kind of get that going, utilizing Credit Builder. And that whole platform is really amazing. So you can actually do a slider to see how you're paying things off. Sorry for a shameless plug here, Nia.
Oh, absolutely. Plug it. I plugged it before you came on.
Okay. Because one of the things is that, like, these things, you need to have your credit. You need to get your personal credit right before you start taking these deep dives. And I want to see you all be successful and not take the same pain points away that I kind of wish I had learned when I started off my business. I should have asked more questions, and I should have listened, researched some more, and listened to more podcasters to say, like, hey, is this worth it? Creating a business for the podcast. Even though I love the branding, y'all get all the stuff, everything that y'all purchase from me go directly to a Black bank. So everything is all heavily invested in the Black community first before we go take it out to anywhere else.
So, question, what can I do to build a good business credit profile? So, like, we talking about like what we have to do to get it. We talked about setting up your business and your Argent Corporation. Like, what are the things I can do that will make my business credit profile look attractive?
To make it look attractive is kind of what we talked about before. You have to have those same strong financial habits, which is to first make sure you pay off all your credit score, meaning your credit cards. Pay everything in time and on time. Really stick to your obligations. If you got a net 30 that you signed up for, make sure you pay it off before that 30 comes up, before there's a net 60 and a net 90. So you want to make sure you pay that. I think there's very few net 120s, but you
If you
know,
have to put it on your calendar, do
right.
what you have to do.
And I have a budget calendar. So you guys know, go to my website,
I do too. I
aboutthatwater.com,
have a
get
planner.
one.
I have a budget planner.
Oh, yeah. I'm actually teaching everybody how to create one.
Oh, really?
As a series. Yeah, it's a 4-part series. So I just finished part 2 yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what he basically saying is, despite what the internet might tell you, you can't escape taking care of your personal finances. You still have to take care of your personal finances because it is the foundation to everything. Just because you're getting business credit, if you think that they're going to run you 50, 60, $100,000, like go get a G-Wagon and you just pay for, like, it has to get paid for some way, somehow. Like, it's not going to be it's on business credit. I don't have to worry about it. Business credit take payments every month too.
Yeah. And one of the things to help your profile looks good as well is that you can actually max out your credit cards and pay them off exactly within those 30 days or 90 days because you're showing utilization. And once you get those 3 months in to show that you're paying off your credit card fully, you can actually go back to the banks and be like, hey, can I get a credit card, a credit increase? And they'll look at it over the next, like the prior 60 days or something like that, and be like, okay, you've been showing proof of concept that you've been paying your bills off at this rate. It seems like you need some more. Let's go for it. American Express, I love American Express for businesses because if you say like, hey, say your credit limit is about 10,000, but you need about 15,000 just to kind of cover this one item that you need. All you have to do is just say, hey, I have a projected 15,000 expense or 12,000 expense coming up. Do you guys approve? You can do all this online or through the app, and so you don't have to call anybody. And then more than likely, I'll say 9 times out of 10, they will usually approve it. And then all you have to do is go spend it. And then once you're done paying that back, they'll drop your credit availability back down. And so that builds that flexibility in your business as you build in your credit health and actually building that rapport with these businesses. Can I add in another thing?
Absolutely.
Okay. So if you have, for those of you who are looking to start a business, I can't stress this enough. If you already have an American Express credit card, meaning that clear joint with the little reflector joint on there, the lowest tier credit card of American Express, even the green cashback joint, if you have one of those, when you go to start your business with American Express credit card, they don't even have to pull anything because they have all your personal information. They'll say, okay, you started a business, here you go. You don't have to show up in person. You don't have to do anything additional. Just say, hey, I've started my business. This is my LLC or S Corp, whatever you want to call it. And then they'll just open up that credit card for you and no additional things on you. And then you can say like, hey, if the credit limit is too low for your business, just tell them like, hey, this is too low, and they'll work with you. So, not to stress them enough. I mean, I might have to give you that link for American Express, but it's so great. I just love the flexibility of American Express. In my honest
opinion. That's why I've been mentioning them the most. I feel like they're one of the great cards to have. They're good to have when it comes to like somebody not fulfilling what they were supposed to, and you having to like file a claim because they didn't deliver whatever you paid for. If you used your Amex to do it, much easier to get your money back, and after they figure out that the person didn't get what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. So, I guess mostly when it comes to building your credit health, I think the main 3 points or the 3 pain points that a lot of people have when it comes to building their credit health is just understanding that cash flow, which we talked about earlier, but also like that consistency of profitability.
Can I break down cash flow just a little bit?
Yeah, go for it.
So when it comes to owning a business, it's similar to having your own personal finances, but essentially it's not. Because with a business, the money that you receive in, you can't count that as, oh, I made this much money. So when you work a job at a 9 to 5 and this is your personal finances, when you get that check is what you have to work with to do what you have to do. You can say, this is my salary. This is how much I got paid. With the business, it doesn't work like that. I may get paid $1,000, but I have certain expenses that I need to pay in order to operate my business that have to be paid. Because if they don't get paid, I can't operate my business. So I can't count that $1,000 as, oh, I made $1,000. No, what you made was the difference between that $1,000 and the expenses you had to pay, cost of goods. Like, we don't want to get all into, accounting terms, but that's the important part. So you can't say that, oh, okay, well, I'm going to be able to pay it. You have to see how much money you have left after you pay the expenses that need to be paid. Now, granted, you can use, when you get business credit already, you can do the thing, like you said, use the card, pay the bills, pay the card back, and do that cycle every month. That's actually a wonderful way to manage your credit. But I just think it's important to understand the difference in cash flow with a business standpoint and then your personal finances. Because I'll hear a lot of business owners like, oh, I made this. No, baby. The business made that. You still got expenses that got to be paid. It's not the same as like a paycheck.
Well, think about it, because if we're gonna go with the example from early on, which is that you're starting an Airbnb business,
you got a lot of expenses to Airbnb. You got a cleaner who got to come in and keep it clean. You got to renew them sheets if somebody rip it or mess it up.
Oh, before all of that, though, it's like,
depending on where you might have to have fees to pay.
Right.
To your city to even apply, rent or mortgage for the location. You got to furnish it, because
the furnish it costs.
You think they're gonna rent it on Airbnb with no furnish? You got to furnish it.
Gas, electric,
water internet.
Bill,
internet. Because who's renting the Airbnb with no internet?
Right. Depending on where you're going, you might have to do food as well. Have a food budget. Depending on the type of service you're gonna do. Are you gonna do true hospitality?
Exactly. And then even if you don't have, like, you might have to just get coffee, or you might just have things you have to get. So
right. And so another thing is what we were talking about is not just the cash flow management, but also just access to capital, which we talked about how you can get it with just your credit card. That's one thing. But also the type of credit card we didn't talk about, which is we need those credit cards where that can actually send it directly to your bank account so that you can use that money as cash versus having it strictly through the card. Because some banks, especially when it comes to mortgages, sometimes they don't accept credit cards. You have to utilize ACH account in order to make that happen most of the time. And if you just don't want it coming out of, cash flow, you're gonna have to put something inside your bank account, your business bank account, to pay for this thing. So it's gonna come out of something somewhere early on. Now, I like Chase. Chase does great at sending money directly to your bank account. I mean, to your personal bank account or even to your business bank account. You can just have it sent wherever you want it to. They do great with that.
Recommend a business bank account though.
Yeah. I mean, they send to your personal, you send to your business, and at least get the seed capital in there. And then once you get all that set up, now you need to start thinking about, okay, like forecasting your business, because now that we got the capital, now that we understand like how the cash flow is supposed to work, you can utilize like a ledger or something like that to keep track of it all. QuickBooks is another one, just to throw them out there. They're not sponsoring me or anything like that. But having those accurate like things in order really makes a difference, because you can easily lose track of all of this. And like how Nia and I, we both said calendars are great because you need those reminders.
If it's not on my calendar, it's not happening at this point in my life. If it's not on my calendar or a post-it note, that's if it's to get done, it's gonna have to be on one of the two.
Yeah. So with that, to kind of summarize all of this, I actually came up with a small like little acronym approach.
Come on.
It's called SIMPLE. SIMPLE. So
do you have a visual to share?
No, I don't have a visual to share. I could make this into a slide deck and give it to you, and then if you want to express it over. Okay.
Sounds like a future live.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I might have to do it for a personal. So we're going to start off with S, which is the strategic planning and forecasting, what we just went over. Those are the main pain points everybody have. The I, which is the invoice management. So how the money is actually coming in. We need to know that.
the
The-
follow-up on the invoices.
Oh my gosh, yeah, the follow-up process. That might be a whole other episode.
Just like you struggled with pay your bills on time at some point, I feel like we all did. These people who you providing services for, they struggle with paying their bills on time too.
We have the M, which is maintain cash flow and reserves, which is making sure we have those repeatable income resources. CPR. There we go. What is the
Consistent,
CPR?
predictable revenue.
There we go. You don't need that. We have the P, which is prepare detailed business plans. So you need to know what your business is doing at all times in case something happens to you, how your business is going to operate. L, which is leveraging assets and relationships. I mean, Nia and I, we know each other mostly online, and then when we meet up face to face, we can knock out a lot of stuff. But this is leveraging your relationships, and because not just relationships online and in person, but also utilizing us from our YouTube channels or any other way that you can get our content, because we're here to support you in your adventures. So please leverage us, ask us questions, and just keep riding with us.
And the last being said, if you haven't been here, feel free to like and subscribe.
Yes, please make sure you hit that like button. It helps out. E, which is explore diverse funding resources. And the reason why you want to explore different resources is because, granted, say if we doing this Airbnb thing, right? But all of a sudden, all the tenants or the people that live there want to say, "Whoa, I don't want to do Airbnb. I don't like the way how people are operating. It just doesn't work." So they want to stop everything. And so we can keep all of that together. So Nia, I put everything up in the back end for you. So if you want to share it with the folks.
Oh, thank you. Make
You're
my
welcome.
life easier.
Yes. If you want, I can spread it out. No puns.
You don't have to.
Okay. Because but while she's putting that in the comments, one of the things that I want to just make sure that everybody is keeping it simple, keeping it stupid simple. So KISS, keep it stupid simple. Meaning, like, if you have all of this laid out, ironed out, written out, there is no reason why you're not successful, that it can't. I mean, there's no reason to fail at this point. Like, you got everything right. You did everything like you're supposed to. And sometimes you just might have to get lucky. And what I mean by getting lucky is that you have all your things in order. You are in the right place in the right time. And you have the ability to make sure that your life is amazing. So what I'm going to do, Nia, I'm gonna also copy and paste everything that you put so it can sit with the folks that are following me. Yeah.
Oh, they don't want to get it?
They won't see this, because you and I, we can see all the chat stuff.
Yeah,
okay. They won't be able to see all the chat stuff. Since I got people on Facebook and YouTube. I want to make sure everybody get it. Cool. So there you guys go.
But yeah, so the biggest thing too, I think that's important about all of this, like you hear us talking about different terms and rules and guidelines, educate yourself.
Yep.
Don't just, I tell people all the time, don't just listen to somebody you hear online. Hell, don't just listen to us. Feel free to look up what we're saying. Look up the term PG, personal guarantee. What does that mean? Look up the different business cards. I'm sure you can find YouTube that like break down the different business cards and which ones are good for you to use. It's important because, for one, you need money you need cash flow. You need an influx of cash flow in any business in order to operate. In order to leverage that business, you're going to need money. Real estate, like the Airbnb example that we've been using. Starting an Airbnb has high startup costs because you have to spend money to get the place. So if you buy it, you got down payments, closing costs, and all the other fees. If you rent it, typically you got to do first month's rent and security deposit, especially now because a lot of leases have rules in them that you can't Airbnb. So when you find one that don't have it, typically they know that they're one of the ones who don't have it, so it's gonna cost you. So you got those fees you got to pay. You have to get all of this furniture and other things we talked about. So it's like, to have all of that come out of your pocket is a lot.
Yeah, and we're not here to discourage you. We just want to make sure that you are aware of the finances on the front end,
Absolutely.
because you don't want to get all of a sudden you like, yeah, I'm gonna start this Airbnb thing, and then realizing that the mortgage that you're paying on this thing or the rent that you're paying on this thing is a little bit more than what you're making.
You got to
And
think
then-
about it. Like, a
Right.
lot of these reels are 60 seconds. It's hard to put all the information you need in 60 seconds.
Yeah. And one of the things that while I was turning around, because I want to make sure that I pull out 2 books that I highly
The bigger
recommend.
pockets.
Yes, Bigger Pockets, called The Book on Rental Property Investing.
I
read
have
this
that book.
Yeah, I read it twice. It's an amazing book.
I read that book also.
And I'm sure you have this book as well, which is called The Rental Secrets.
You don't have that one. And I'm a landlord.
Yeah. This is Justin Poe's book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this book is great for people who are renting right now, but also it tells you from a landlord perspective on the rules and regulations that renters have, and to help you leverage yourself and market yourself to be appeal sexy to renters. Why would they travel far to your place, even though it's a little further from work? Like, what do you have over everybody else that's close to their work? So these are the things that you want to look into. And this is the reason why I brought up both of these books, because the book on rental property investing, that's helping you to understand if you're going to plan on buying a house directly out. The Rental Secrets is about getting into the renter space, and that's one of the ones that I want you to both understand. It's like you can do what they call it, arbitrage, rental arbitrage.
Rental arbitrage, yeah.
So I think these 2 books will be great just to kind of get you started. For those of you who have been watching my live shows, you might have gotten one of these books for free. So
Right, because he does a lot of giveaways. So
Yeah.
just to go over that acronym again, it was SIMPLE. So S is for strategic planning, I is invoice management, M is maintaining your cash flow and reserves, so kind of like your business emergency fund. P is prepare detailed business plans. And it's a lot of resources to do that now online that you can find that makes your life a lot easier.
AI.
And then we have AI, my
Right.
buddy Chat. And then L is leveraging your assets and relationships. E is explore diverse funding sources. So I want to touch on leveraging assets and relationships. One, you don't always want to be the smartest person in the room. You want to be around people who know more than you and be okay with it, because that's the only way you're going to learn more. If you're always the smartest person and you're ahead of everybody else, what growth will you have? So definitely looking to build circles that have some people in it that you admire, that inspire you and motivate you, as well as educate you. So that, to me, possibly can help you move faster. Because I mean, it's very real to say it's not what you know, it's who you know. Because who you know now, could change your life just from the information that they have. Like, even like us, we exchange information, tips, different gadgets we find out about that possibly help, like StreamYard. I used StreamYard, but I didn't really use StreamYard until I met Anthony. And
really?
I saw all the things that I can do.
I'm glad I could help.
Yeah, but that's the whole point of relationships. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you improve my whole online presence.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, leveraging relationships. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. And then, I mean, I gotta say, it's so much that, out there, but it's best to kind of deal with the people that you trust and easily approach. For those of you who know that, like, this stuff it's not easy. We all in this together, but to take ourselves to the next level, we need to leverage each other, really have those open discussions and build that community around it. I really wish I mean, not wish, but I think I should have had waited a little bit longer, maybe. But also, I'm gonna just stick with it because I wouldn't know what I know now if I had went in dirty and just started nasty and just like, you know what, just gonna fight my way through it. Because I feel as though I have analysis paralysis a lot, and for me, in order for me to move on beyond that, I have to take action,
You
and
got to.
I can't sit around.
You got to. So I just, because we run into the last 15 minutes, I want to kind of go back to the top and kind of I guess talk about what we talked about. So essentially, to build business credit for your business, the first thing you're gonna have to do is choose what type of business structure you're gonna have. And then, like he said, you want to have your articles of incorporation. Some banks, because you're gonna have to get a federal ID number. When you get a federal ID number or federal tax ID number or EIN, which can be like employer identification number, that number is going to be the social security number for your business. That number is what you're going to use when you have different forms that fill out. You're going to put that number to represent your business. Then you want to open a business bank account. Now, I will say you don't have to have an LLC to open a business bank account. You will need the EIN, but I think that it's important for you to do those steps. The next thing, or maybe it might even, I would say maybe even before you choose the right business structure, or why you doing all of this, what's going on with your personal credit? Right. I just thought about that. Like, why are you doing all this and taking those steps? You might want to ask and see what's going on with your personal credit. If you know your personal credit needs a little bit of work and you got a few things that you got to do, then yes, you might want to start working on that now rather than later. Start working to improve your credit. So then when they do look at it, they're like, oh, okay. They know how to pay their bills. Like, all right, I give her a little credit. If you don't, then you want to look for entities that have net terms. And like we discussed, net terms just basically means it's not, I guess you could say, revolving credit, because you charge on it and whatever you charge on it is due within whatever those net terms are, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. But you want to find entities like that, vendors or suppliers, or like he said, you can use NAV and they will report to your credit. Monitor your business credit reports just like you monitor your personal credit reports. That's how you're going to be able to see how your activity affects your credit score. You're going to be able to continue to know, like, oh, okay, I need to keep doing this, or things like that. So just to give, like, I guess you can kind of summarize what we've talked about in one space. Oh, hey, Lisa.
Yeah. So and along with that, Nia, how often do you check your personal credit?
Well, I check my credit right now is frozen.
Okay.
It's been frozen for a while. And I have monitors. So I don't technically have to check it as much because I have a credit monitoring service that automatically notifies me when my score is up, when my score is down, if the usage on an account increases, decreases. So my personal credit, I don't really have to check it because I pay a credit monitoring service $10 a month for them to do it for me. But for my business credit, I try to check that quarterly because I'm not really applying for anything at the moment. So quarterly. But when you're like actively working on doing something, I would be checking that bad boy. Like when I first started building business credit before I had, I probably would check it like every 2 weeks or every month at least, like because I was watching it, for it to go up and to learn like what makes it go up, what makes it go down. Because that's the thing, you got to learn how anything works so that you can master it and leverage it, and then you use it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I use. I use Smart Credit.
Oh, yeah, you use Smart Credit too? Awesome.
That's what I'm paying. That's what I'm paying $10 a month.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So if anybody wanted to sign up, you can use either my my referral link. I do gotta show that, make sure that's there. So one of the things, because it's amazing, it's an amazing tool. Like, have you used the dispute letter process yet? Where they actually can dispute your letters?
Say that again.
They will automatically create dispute letters for you.
Smart Credit.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't had to dispute anything since I
Gotcha.
had smart credit. When I had to fix my credit, it was years ago when you had to type your own business, your own letters and mail and go to the
Post
mailbox with all envelopes. That's when I was disputing. You know, I'm fortunate I haven't, you know, I've been a good steward over my finances. Well, I haven't had to dispute anything on my credit recently. And that's why I have the monitor on there. So if they like maybe accidentally put something on there or things like that. So, but you also can do it on your different credit bureaus websites also. Like you'll have an account and you can dispute everything electronically right on their account.
Yeah, and they usually do great advice as well. So like I love Experian.com. You know, Nia and I both help support them on X. And right. So they are well informed about providing great educational tools to keep you going, and they really do try to fight on your side if they can. Majority of the time they do say like, hey, did you reach out to the creditor first before you send this dispute letter? And then you can dispute it all you want to. They might come back like, no, son, you got to pay this. So
just up to Anthony.
Hey, thank you. Let me see. Do I got some air horns over here?
I know you got some sound effects for me.
Of course, I got them. Yeah, there we go. Thank you for the subscribe. But yeah, like having those opportunities to make sure that you have all the resources. Actually, this is an informational resource, is informational sharing that we have to make sure that we continue to do for our community, because usually we are the last ones to find out.
Absolutely. And if it's more topics that you want us to talk about or you want us to make videos about, like together, separately, whatever the case may be, absolutely drop them in the comments. Even if you're watching this on the replay, drop them in the comments. We'll still get a notification because that lets us know what you all want to hear. So we'll make videos with what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Or what you're looking to learn about.
Yeah, if you want to learn about dancing, do not come to me.
You can come to me for dancing. Only certain dancing, like stepping, I can't help you. I don't care that I'm from Chicago, born and raised. I cannot step. I can fake it though. I can make it look like I know how to step, but I don't know how to step for real.
All right. What about skating? You doing skating too?
Ankle surgery? No, we're not skating over here. These tendons and ligaments. It's not going for that.
That's too funny. No, well, I can help you out with the skating part. I can at least get you around.
Okay, damn, he gonna get you skating. I can get you on the travel end. Now you want to travel the world without breaking the bank? I got you on that. I went live with Kamari on Wednesday, and I was showing him live like how to get lower cost flights and how to search for the flights and all of that.
Oh man, yeah, I gotta check that one out. I forgot what happened. I was busy Thursday that I couldn't make it.
But yeah, maybe I need to do something. Let me know if y'all want. I do one of them on my channel. But we basically like went through the process of what I go through when I'm looking for flights, what I do to save money when I travel. If y'all don't know, I love to travel. So this year, what is this, May? I've probably gone on 10 trips this year.
Wow.
Yeah, travel is bae. Okay. Yeah. Like, why are you single? Because I gotta sit still. Right. I can't meet nobody if I'm
right.
Like, like Shawnee Address syndrome. Ooh, let's go over there. Yeah. Like, ooh, what's over in that country?
You just wilding over. Oh man. So yeah, we gotta definitely might have to have you on my show to talk about the travel piece.
I'm down. My signature course, the 3rd module, it teaches you travel and thrive. So that's what I do. I live it, like, so I could give the real.
All right.
So that's it. Yeah. Any questions? Drop your questions in the chat. Other than that, we're about to head out here and go celebrate the fact that I don't have to get up early tomorrow.
Right. Well, I will leave a question for everybody to think about it. As we mentioned before, do you start the business first, which means like you do all the paperwork at the EIN and everything like that before you show proof of concept, or do you show proof of concept before you start the business? And I want to leave you guys with that.
I need stamps on my passport. Where you trying to go, JT?
Right.
Give me an idea of where you're trying to go.
Yeah.
I
'Cause
love
they-
stamps on my passport. Was I gonna say like Jay-Z said, you ain't got enough to have stamps on your passports.
My joint is empty. Like I have one
Really?
stamp. Well, because I had to get a new one. I had to
It's-
renew it.
It's kind of, to me, it's a I guess it's a flex.
Mm.
Every time I go through like customs where you have to stop and they have to put the stamp on your passport,
Yeah.
and they be like, shh, shh, shh. They be having to go past pages.
Right.
I be like, yeah. Yeah. And this one dude was like, oh, you're a well-traveled woman, or you'll see their face expression like,
Right.
like, okay, she really tried. You could just see their reaction as they're going through the pages, like,
Mhm.
where is the page? So, but yeah, I still got some empty pages though, but I purposely got the 52-page one. And the pandemic slowed me down.
So I didn't even know you can actually ask for different size books.
Yes, you can act. Well, I don't know if you can now. This passport will expire in 2026.
Gotcha.
Bali, it's right here because I just came back from Mexico. That's the only reason.
I was like, who whips out their passport so quickly?
It's right here because I just came back from a trip, and so I have to pull it out so I can put it where it goes so I don't lose it.
Right.
He said Bali, Thailand, Kenya, Egypt, to name a few. So what you want to do is you want to go 11. You want to try to go to, like, you can hit a different ones up like this. If you're going to go to Bali, spend some time in Bali, then hop over to Thailand.
It's cheaper.
You know what I mean? If you're doing it, then when you're on your way back, maybe stop through Egypt coming back.
Mm.
Do you think it's worth it to travel with the bird flu going around? These health scares are insane. Honestly,
Yeah.
I do. Like I said, I just came back from Guadalajara this month. But yeah, JT, that's how you're gonna get more countries in. It's typically cheaper once you get over there to move around in that area, as opposed to having to go all the way back. So I would say maybe take a week or two and hop around over there.
Now, do you fly?
It's worth it, but you protect yourself. So it's the same thing. Like, to be honest, you can catch COVID. I got a friend who just caught COVID. She hadn't traveled nowhere. You can catch COVID at the grocery store. What I would say is you want to protect yourself wherever you go. So wiping things down, things that, like your mama been telling you to do, honestly, wiping things down. When I stay at a hotel, I'm not overzealous. Like what else people who like clean their whole room. I don't do that, but I'm wiping down my phone.
And that remote.
My phone, my remote, and my phone, my remote, and doorknobs.
Doorknobs, yeah.
Those three places that everybody gonna touch, but they're not gonna get clean. See, the faucets, they probably gonna wipe them down. They're not cleaning no doorknobs.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and then bring this spray. It's this blue and orange spray.
Yeah, I can't think of it off top.
I can't think of the name of it, but it disinfects. So I would say bring those. You're not overthinking it. You being realistic. It is. People are getting sick. Like, people are getting COVID. But also, I don't think that COVID's going anywhere.
Right.
I think COVID is here to stay with us the same way the flu is. So we have to just be proactive the same way we are with the flu, because otherwise, then what? You just never, ever going to live or never go anywhere or never do anything. Yeah. As well as it's not the same way it was like the pandemic, where you had like people just dying in droves of COVID. Like, you get sick, but then you take medicine and you get better. Now,
one of the things is that I'm going to ask about as far as travel. Do you do one-way flights to the country, and then on the way back, you don't do round trip flights? So you just do one-way flight, and then you plan your way back that way?
So, to be honest, just like I told them on Kamari's show, I travel by deals, not destinations. So the flight prices tell me where I'm going, but typically I'm going to do one ways, and because the only way I could do a round trip is if I go back to my first stop before I come back home. Yeah. And it might not make sense to do that. You know what I mean? Unless I go to like Paris, you could probably go in and out of Paris, but So typically I am going to have a one-way going, and then I'm gonna hop around, and then I'm going to come back from somewhere else. Or I might use a stopover program. A lot of airlines have free stopover programs where you can stop over in whatever their home country is for free. So
nice. Okay.
it's no telling, like literally it's just like when I planned the 5-country trip to Europe, I got that from this girl named Erica. She travels the globe. That's her motto. Travel by deals, not destinations. Because if you want to see the whole world, go what's more cost effective. I think I am going to do a video about it.
You need to
show people how I pick flights and do things, because you can basically find out kind of what's the cheaper day to travel, what's the cheaper destination, what's the better route to take. You could do that. And then I stalk flights. Like I don't stalk men. I stalk a flight. I'm a professional stalker when it comes to flights.
Like, pew. Like, hey, what's that sexy new 737 at?
Exactly. Right. Okay, so we dropped $20.
Right.
Sexy. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and close it out because it's 8:30 now. We haven't got any questions. I hope you all have a wonderful Friday. Like I said, like and subscribe. I think I am going to do a lot. It may not be a live. I might just do a training video on and just teach, some of the tips and tricks. But if you're not following me, follow me, like, subscribe, and drop whatever subjects or topics you want us to cover, and we will make some videos about them.
Yep.
Thank you so much for coming, Anthony, and sharing your time. Like, it's Friday night. We appreciate you.
I mean, when it's business, we got business on the mind. Every day's
exactly
work.
Right.
Every day's a work.
Friday means nothing. I'm vending at a thing tomorrow, so I got to get up and load my car.
I got 2 recordings to do tomorrow, so right.
Exactly. So every day is work when you own a business.
Yeah. You ain't lying about that.
Okay, you all have a great one. Drop your link, please. Hold on.
Well, just put it up in display it in your thing, because he's on my side. So
that's okay. You can post it, friend.
Yeah, I can post it. Put it in the private chat as well, or wherever you post it. I'll just copy and paste over. There we go. All right.
Oh, I messed up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, YouTube twice.
Oh, all right. Yeah,
why I did that, I don't know.
I can clean that up.
Yeah, clean it up, please, and thank you.
Yep.
Can I edit this? No, I cannot.
Nah, that's already posted. Just do it again.
Just delete it.
Yep. Cool. All right. So all you guys who are following me, you should have it. Make sure y'all subscribe to her show.
Yes.
Check her out.
And you all have a fabulous Friday. Thank you. So yeah, I'll definitely make a video though. It'll probably be the week after next. But
and you got 232 subscribers. Let's go.
Who?
You.
I got more than that.
300. I'm sorry. 300.
300. Okay, I was gonna say
323. I'm 323.
What happened? I'm sorry, I got canceled. No.
Oh my God.
You know I have no sense. Y'all have a good night. End of the live.